Alone at 3 a.m., you hear footsteps behind you. The building is empty. Who's there? Alone at 3 a.m., you hear footsteps behind you. The building is empty. Who's there? My name is Mark. I've worked night shifts as a security guard for over a decade, thinking I'd seen it all. But nothing prepared me for my shift at Weston Hills Asylum. Tonight, I'll tell you what truly happened inside those walls. The asylum looked abandoned from the outside. Shattered windows, graffiti, and overgrown weeds gave it an eerie welcome. Through one of the broken windows, I glimpsed old medical equipment, rusted wheelchairs, gurneys, and beds that hadn't seen life in decades. The air smelled faintly of mold and decay, though the night was clear. Even the birds avoided this place, scattering as I approached. I started my patrol slowly, checking each wing. At first, it felt like any other night, just a large, empty building. But then, a cold draft hit me in a room that was perfectly warm just seconds ago. Lights flickered for no reason. Odd smells, like something burned, drifted past. And then I heard it, a faint whisper at the end of the hallway. I froze. Nothing, just empty hallways and the sound of my own heartbeat. Patrolling further, I noticed an old wheelchair rocking gently, though no one was around. Doors I had locked earlier were now slightly ajar. Then came the whisper again, clear this time. Leave, now. I turned sharply, shining my flashlight, but the corridor was empty. Shadows seemed to move just beyond my sight. My heart raced as if the building itself were alive, watching me. I entered the old patient wing. Doors that should have been locked were now closed tight. The air was freezing, my breath visible despite the mild night. Suddenly, I glimpsed something at the end of the hall. A fleeting figure, distorted, moving unnaturally. Whispers intensified, echoing from every wall. Yet I was completely alone. Every instinct screamed at me to leave, but I had to see it for myself. And then it happened. The wheelchair, an object I had never touched, rolled toward me on its own. The whispers became a chorus. Go. Leave. Now. Shadows stretched across the walls, flickering with the failing lights. I tried to steady myself, telling myself it was a prank, a trick of the mind. But when a shadow lunged at me from the end of the hall, I stumbled back, my flashlight clattering to the floor. Panic surged. I had never felt fear like this, not from people, not from the dark, but from the building itself. As the first light of dawn broke through the broken windows, the strange activity ceased. The whispers faded. The wheelchair sat still. I left, hands trembling, questioning everything I thought I knew about the supernatural. Some nights the asylum feels alive, even now. If you were alone here at 3 a.m., could you survive? Nay, 3 a.m. The hotel is empty. Yet someone, or something, is waiting for you. My name is Sarah. I work the night shift as a security guard. I've seen quiet nights, occasional pranksters, but nothing prepared me for the Grand Hotel. Tonight, I'll share what really happens when the doors close and the ghosts come alive. The hotel was stunning by day, but at night it was different, almost breathing. Chandeliers swayed as if unseen hands had moved them. The air smelled of old polish and something faintly rotten. Every painting seemed to watch me. My footsteps echoed in the marble hallways, reminding me how alone I was. At first, I thought it was the wind, but the doors moved with purpose. I heard faint music, a piano, soft at first, then louder, though no one was playing. Shadows stretched and twisted down corridors, as if the walls themselves were alive. I felt eyes on me, yet every hallway was empty. I glimpsed a figure at the far end of the hall, transparent, flickering. My pulse quickened. The piano keys continued out of tune, and whispers grew louder. It felt as if the building was testing me, daring me to stay. I entered the ballroom cautiously. The music, ghostly, distorted, filled the space. A chair slid toward me as if pushed by invisible hands. My heart raced. I tried to steady my breathing, documenting everything on my walkie-talkie, but even that didn't feel real. The figure became more distinct, moving toward me. Chandeliers swung violently. Doors slammed shut. Cold spots hit me like walls of ice. I panicked but kept moving, my flashlight trembling in my hand. Mirrors reflected multiple ghostly figures, their eyes locked on me. Then, something dashed behind me. I spun around. Nothing there. My pulse was deafening. The whispers overlapped. "Leave. Now." Figures appeared and vanished, always in the corners of my vision. One moment, I felt a hand brush my shoulder. The next, I was alone. My nerves were frayed. I realized this hotel wasn't just haunted. It was alive with the past, replaying its history for anyone brave or foolish enough to stay the night. As daylight broke, the hotel returned to its quiet, empty self. No shadows, no music, just sunlight and dust. I left that night shaken, questioning everything I'd seen. The Grand Hotel is beautiful. By day. By night, it's a different world. Could you survive a night here? Alone in a museum at night. Something is moving among the artifacts. My name is David. I've worked night shifts as a security guard for years, confident I could handle anything. But the Old Mill Museum, it tested everything I believed about the night, the artifacts, and what might be lurking between them. The museum seemed silent, almost too quiet. The exhibits, filled with centuries of history, looked innocent enough in the daylight. But at night, shadows moved differently. A faint smell of old stone and dust filled the air. My footsteps echoed unnaturally through the grand halls, and sometimes it felt like something mirrored my movements just beyond the edge of the flashlight's beam. As I made my rounds, I noticed small, unexplainable changes. A statue that had faced one way now seemed to be looking directly at me. Cold drafts passed through warm rooms. Whispering sounds, almost like an ancient chant, drifted from distant halls. I told myself it was my imagination, but deep down, I knew it wasn't. Then I saw it, a figure near a sarcophagus, just at the edge of my vision. My pulse quickened. The eyes of statues seemed alive, tracking every step. Echoing footsteps followed me, overlapping with soft chanting. I couldn't shake the feeling that I was being observed by something ancient, something that had been here far longer than I could imagine. I approached the exhibit cautiously. The sarcophagus lid had shifted a few inches, as if pushed from the inside. Artifacts subtly moved when I wasn't looking. My flashlight flickered violently. I tried to steady my nerves, but every sound, every creak of the floor, felt amplified. Something was here, and it was aware of me. Suddenly, shadows stretched unnaturally, moving toward me. The whispering grew into a chorus, almost intelligible, as if demanding my attention. Statues and relics appeared to move in concert, forming a path I dared not follow. My flashlight beam shook, reflecting off mirrors that showed fleeting images of figures I couldn't understand. A sudden rush of air passed, and I felt a presence directly behind me. I turned and saw it, a ghostly figure gesturing toward the far end of the hall. Footsteps echoed around me, though no one was there. The chanting grew louder, more insistent. My body froze as the figure vanished, leaving only the eerie silence of the empty hall. Every instinct screamed to leave, but I needed to get out safely, to survive this night shift. As sunlight broke through the windows, The museum returned to its usual quiet. The artifacts were still, as if nothing had happened. I left that night questioning reality, the past, and what truly lingers in these halls. Could you survive a night here? Night shifts are meant to be quiet, routine. But some nights the walls remember, the shadows move, and the things you can't explain, watch. Could you survive what these guards faced? Comment your story below. If you dare, subscribe for more true night shift horror stories.